Hey, Rob here for Quadratec. Today we're checking out our Gen 2 Stealth interior mount 50-inch LED light bar. We took the previous version of this light and made some improvements to this next generation design. Not only have we improved the white and amber light output, giving you 35% increase over the previous version, but we've also made some improvements to the optics to give you a better 90-degree floodlight output to completely illuminate the area in front of your Jeep. We've also made some improvements to the seals along both the glass edge and the top edge of the light bar to help eliminate any potential light bleed to the inside of your Wrangler or Gladiator. The Stealth interior mount light bars are available for both the 07 to 18 Jeep Wrangler JK, as well as the 18 and newer Jeep Wrangler JL and the 20 and newer Jeep Gladiator JT. And we even have two versions of the bar available. One that is compatible if your newer Wrangler or Gladiator came from the factory with that adaptive cruise control module mounted to the windshield just in front of your rearview mirror. You can see the two-piece design simply wraps right around that module, and the only real difference here is that we've eliminated that center bank of 8 white and 8 amber LED chips. Now, it is worth noting, however, the Stealth interior light bar is not compatible if your vehicle features the Sky One Touch power top. You can see that you're going to get absolutely everything you need right out of the box with our Stealth light bars to make for a super easy install in your Jeep. You'll get the light bar as well as all of the mounting brackets required to get it installed. You get the detachable wiring harness that makes for a really easy installation, as well as our plug-and-play T-harness. It's going to plug right in behind your vehicle's 12-volt accessory socket in the dashboard for a true plug-and-play installation, requiring no custom cutting or splicing of any wiring, and you can complete this install with just a couple hand tools. Now, over here on the Jeep, we can check out one of the best features, in my opinion, of having the Stealth light bar mounted to the inside of the Jeep, and it's just that. It mounts on the inside of your windshield. So we have no additional brackets mounted to the outside of our windshield frame, potentially causing additional wind noise or changing the aerodynamics of your Jeep, causing buffeting of your soft top again for added noise. Because there's no brackets on the outside, it also means that our Stealth interior mount light bar is compatible with all trim levels of the Wrangler and Gladiator. So whether you have a Mojave or 392 Wrangler with the higher profile cowl, or maybe a 4xe Wrangler with the charge port right here on the driver's side, you don't have to worry about compatibility with any bracketry because everything simply mounts right here above your sun visors on the driver and passenger side on the inside of your windshield. Now, as I mentioned, this is a dual function light bar. It does feature a 3-position switch mounted right here on the light bar just in front of the driver's seat. That's going to allow you to quickly and easily match the light output to the conditions that you're driving in. So let's say you're driving in rain or snow, or maybe some Jeeps farther down the trail have kicked up a lot of dust. Well, you can activate those 40 2000 Kelvin color temperature amber LEDs to cut through those conditions. Maybe you find yourself in more clear conditions. Well, you can simply flip that switch over to activate those 40 hyper white LEDs, outputting at 6000 Kelvin color temperature to help completely illuminate the area in front of your Wrangler or Gladiator. Now, as far as the installation goes, everything is super easy. You can complete it with just a few simple hand tools. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Because this Jeep has an Alpine restyle, our first step is to go ahead and remove this outer bezel on the radio. If your Jeep still has a factory radio in place, you can skip this step. The first step for you will be to go ahead and pull the climate control panel out of the way. This is where a nylon panel tool can be helpful. Get it started here on the passenger side next to the grab handle and pull it out towards you, releasing the clips. On the back side, you'll find 2 plugs, one in the center, we can disconnect first, and a second for the start-stop button. Next, we'll remove the single Phillips head screw holding the lower trim panel in place. With that removed, there are some pop clips holding this panel. Grab it and pull it towards you. Next, we can disconnect the electrical connector on the back side of the 12-volt accessory socket. Then grab the new harness included with your interior light bar. The Y connector will have one side that plugs into the back side of the 12-volt accessory socket in the dash. The opposite side will plug into the factory wiring harness. Before we can feed this wiring through the dash, we need to remove the glove box. Start by opening the glove box, and then on the inside of the glove box, we're going to find the support arm, lift that up and pull it towards the center of the vehicle to release it. Next, reach up to lift the tab, allowing the glove box to drop so we can fully remove it out of the way. Now we can feed that new wiring harness from the center of our dashboard down through the gaps to behind the glove box. With our wire harness routed through the dashboard, we can now reinstall that lower trim panel, making sure to re-secure it with the screw, and reinstall the climate control panel, making sure to plug those two electrical connections, one for the start-stop button and one for your climate control buttons. Finally, if your Jeep is equipped with an Alpine Restyle unit, now we can go ahead and reinstall that bezel, remembering to make sure we plug in that electrical connection on the bottom edge before we snap it into place. To remove the A-pillar trim, we need to start by first removing the tweeter grille cover. Using a nylon panel tool, insert it under the cover to pop it up. Next, we can remove the two covers, revealing the 10mm bolts securing the A-pillar trim in place. After removing the two bolts, securely grab the handle and pull towards you to remove the trim. Next, we'll open the sun visor to reveal the two bolts securing the soft top latch to the windshield frame. Yours may have felt pads covering the Torx heads. If so, remove them now. Using a T40 Torx bit, remove the two bolts securing the latch to the frame. Before installing the mounting brackets, it's important to identify which side needs to be installed to the windshield frame. While they may look symmetrical, they're actually different. The larger mounting holes will secure to the windshield frame. The smaller holes will secure the light bar. Install the bolts through the bracket and the windshield latch and secure them loosely in place. You want to allow some movement between the bracket and the latch for final adjustment. Repeat these steps on the passenger side. At this point, we're ready to install the light bar. Before we can do so, we need to connect the wiring harness. Next, we can lift the light bar as tight as we can against the upper interior windshield trim. With it held in place, go ahead and tighten the two forward-facing bolts on each bracket. Before reinstalling the A-pillar trim, we need to secure the wiring harness in place with the provided zip ties. Be sure to follow the factory wiring so that the wiring does not get pinched by the two bolts when we reinstall the A-pillar trim. To reinstall the A-pillar trim, you may need to loosen up the two bolts securing the light bar on the passenger side to allow enough movement to slip the trim in between the light bar and the A-pillar. With the grab handle back in place, we can re-secure it with the two 10mm bolts, snapping the covers back in place. Finally, we can snap the tweeter cover back on top of the dash. Finally, we can make our wiring connections using the terminal block behind the glove box, match the red to red and the black to brown wires, and secure it with a flathead screwdriver. And finally, we can reinstall the glove box in the reverse order of removal.
And it's just that easy to get your Gen 2 Stealth LED interior mount 50-inch light bar installed in your Wrangler or Gladiator. Now, if you want to get more information or to purchase one for your Jeep, you can click that info button to head over to Quadratec.com. Of course, if you have any comments or questions about the light bars or how to get them installed, you can always do those for me down in the comment section below or by simply heading to Quadratec.com. If you like these videos and you haven't already, do me a huge favor, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification icon so be sure to catch all of our latest videos. Till next time, I'm Rob. I'll see you out on the trail.